You know, when you have more penalties than points scored, you're going to lose. When your quarterback makes a critical error on a critically bad play call in the fourth quarter, resulting in 10 points scored in 37 seconds, you're going to lose. And ultimately, when you make a decision to play for a field goal as opposed to going for a touchdown, making it much more difficult for your opponent to beat you. Playing not to lose means you're going to lose. And you lost. That was Sunday in Cleveland. Packers took the L to the Browns, as did we, and now you move on to week 4 action against the Dallas Cowboys. I warned last week that the Browns had all the makings of a trap game. And the fact that you could not play down to the record of that ball club. The fact that their defense was stout. They showed you that, held you to 10 points. The same thing goes with Dallas. You cannot afford to play down to the record. You cannot afford to play down to the competition. You cannot afford to play down to the drama. Yes, Micah Parsons returning to Dallas for the first time since being traded by Jerry Jones. Ooh, big whoop. That's not what you're here for. That's not what the focus should be. The focus should be how the Green Bay Packers should go into Dallas, a place that they've gone into and dominated before and dominate again. Jordan Love, put that pick out of your mind. It was your first pick of the season. Matt LaFleur took responsibility for the play call. Look, you live, you learn. Try not to make that mistake in a critical juncture again. The ground game has to get going. Outside of a game that Josh Jacobs rushed for 84 yards, he's really done nothing on the ground. Yeah, he had a couple of touchdowns, but can you really say that this ground game is going the same way that it was last season? Not yet, you can't. It's going to be very difficult against anyone, no matter how stout a defense is, how stout a defense isn't, to work and protect your quarterback with a reworked offensive line. You know you're not going to be with Zach Tom, who re-injured that oblique. Probably should have never been out there, but I digress. This offensive line has to be better. You can't have one offensive lineman with 3 false start penalties that absolutely kill your drives. You cannot afford to be a turnstile that allows Jordan Love to get dropped 5 times, especially against a Dallas defense that really puts no fear in anyone's heart. Now, yes, you'll see your old friend Kenny Clark there, but you have all the ingredients. It was not the defense that let this team down last week in Cleveland. It was offense and it was special teams. Guys like Dontavian Wicks have to be better. Guys like Matthew Golden, who probably could have had a 96-yard touchdown had he not gone out of bounds on a 38-yard reception. But again, I digress. Guys like Tucker Kraft. Josh Jacobs himself has to be better. Everyone on this offense has to be better. In special teams, you have to be cleaner. And Matt LaFleur, you have to be smarter with some of your play calls. You yourself said that a lot of the play calls that you made were not that great. You put the onus on yourself, as every good head coach should. But now, if you're going to prove yourself to be a good head coach, you have to get your team in a position to bounce back and be better than they were last week in Cleveland. So with that being said, who wins? Who prevails? Week 4, Dallas, Packers, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. I'll go Green Bay 27, Dallas 17. Dallas has a lot of injury issues, both in the defense and on the offense. Offensive line injuries. They're going to be without CD Lamb for the next 3 to 4 weeks with that high ankle sprain. Their run game doesn't leave a whole lot to the imagination. But again, you cannot play down to your competition, to the record, and to how much they may or may not be struggling, especially after they got waxed by the Bears last week. Couldn't be Packers, but I digress. You have to be better. You have to bounce back from last week. Learn from it. Let it be the slap in the face that you needed, the reality check that you needed, so you can go on to be better for the rest of the season. Green Bay over Dallas 27-17. Packers over Cowboys 27-17. Remember, it does not matter the score. All that matters, as I said, the Packers would defeat the Cowboys Sunday Night Football this Sunday. Who do you think will win? Let us know down below. But until then, I'm T Squared. This is Squared Logic. We out.